This session will serve as your guide in assessing various pedagogies, including strategies and assessment tools in integrating GCED in the curriculum. What should we consider in teaching GCED? First, we must consider the following aspects in choosing the appropriate GCED pedagogies: student contexts, teacher interests, and school resources. In 2018, UNESCO posed the following questions that you can also consider in teaching GCED. On student context, what are your students' interests? What is the characteristic of the community to which they belong? What local and global issues and topics do they consider important? Do they experience and care about? And what are their motivations? And what will make them use these lessons in their own lives? On teacher interests, on your interests, may I ask, teacher, what are you passionate about? Do you have causes that you think are important to your students and to you? On school resources, what resources do you have in your school? Do you have local or international partners? Do you have a laboratory equipment or materials which you can maximize? You can use the community as a laboratory of learning in terms of school resource. There are so many pedagogies and tools that I can share to you, but I will highlight only 10 for this session. Number 1, the critical or problem-based teaching or pedagogy in global citizenship education. An example is the RSA or the Reflect Share Act. In Reflect, we look at how our students develop their own understanding and looking back and think critically about their own experiences and practices. Through a continuous learning and sharing and dialogue, we both reflect on the past experiences, on the current experiences, and what can be the future in relation to the topic. In Share, we inspire them to put that feeling, to put that reflection in understanding so that they gain the processes in order for them to act and put their ideas into action. The Thinking Hats was developed by Edward De Bono. In this learning strategy, students are helped in developing their critical thinking. It also inspires creativity and promotes a culture of innovation. This framework is based on the different colored hats that you can use in terms of looking at the different perspectives in analyzing a situation. Next pedagogy or approach that I can share to you is the transformative pedagogy. In the transformative pedagogy of global citizenship education, we look into how the learning goes beyond the content but connects to the heart and to the behavior of our learners. It transforms the learners' attitudes and skills. It can also be done by investigating world problems or their immediate environment, examining the issues of local, global, and cultural significance. Here, we recognize, we understand, and appreciate the different perspectives and the worldviews of others, as well as communicate ideas with diverse audiences by engaging in open, appropriate, and effective interaction across cultures. This looks into how students are posed into dilemma and will provide them with an avenue to reflect on it. strategies here can include oral dilemma or dilemma strategies, ethical reflections, structural analysis of current global issues and local issues, look at the different voices in the community about issues, or go to your corners, and even mock elections. The themes that can be discussed here can be gender-based advocacies, human rights, social equities, the social and transformational development goals, the SDGs, identities and diversities. These are all transformative themes that we can actually integrate in our teaching. The PEACE Pedagogy is grounded on the belief that learning happens during the interaction between and among participants or learners and the teachers and the facilitators. Arts-based pedagogies develop personal transformation and social change through the use of drama, dance, media, music, and visual arts. This includes all aspects of visual culture, creative imagination, but also includes critical analysis, empathy, experimentation and innovation, synthesis, and voices that can be emphasized to develop the skills, processes, and understanding of artistic inquiry in relation to global citizenship. Culture-based teaching through the living heritage education plays an important role in guiding young people to take interest in the safeguarding of their own living heritage. The 2003 Convention recognizes the transmission of intangible cultural heritage through formal and non-formal education as one of the safeguarding measures. And it also mentions the important role of promoting awareness and respect for intangible cultural heritage. Here, we can use the community and the different cultural traditions that we have, infusing it with the teaching of our subject area. The practices, representations, expressions, knowledge and skills, including instruments, objects, or artifacts, and cultural expressions and spaces that communities and groups, and in some cases individuals, recognize as part of the cultural heritage of the community is a good way to teach global citizenship. This intangible and tangible cultural heritage that we have that is transmitted from generation to generation is constantly recreated by the communities and groups in order to respond to its environment, to the nature of the community and the history. But it provides to us a sense of continuity as well. So we can teach this in order for our students to know the oral traditions and expressions, including language. Next, we have community-based or social action-based pedagogies. Here, the student is immersed into the community as a laboratory for learning. One example of this is a Global Project Citizen or Community Advocacy Campaign, wherein the class partners with individuals and organizations. It can be non-governmental organizations or civilian groups, local government units, or private organizations that is a stakeholder of a certain community, where that community may face certain specific problems based on GCED teams. And so with the help of the community partner, the students are able to identify key issues and problems in the community that needs to be addressed. While addressing the community needs, the students are able to take actions and solutions, thereby being part of the solutions to the community and co-creating together with individuals or groups in the community. They can create policy proposals, which they can lobby among community leaders. They can also do advocacy campaign materials such as flyers, posters, gazette, newsletters or videos and podcasts and maybe social media advocacy in order to implement these actions and help, no, even in little ways or in big, enormous ways to solve the community problems. Next, we have the project-based learning using the design thinking approach. Project-based learning, it is defined as very student-centered, where students are actively engaged in a curriculum-based and authentic real-world tasks, no, that requires them to think and to ideate and to look into the objectives and the outcomes of a project that is related to their lessons. While design thinking is a human-centered approach in finding solutions to the problems, and that can be identified in different contexts. Who wants to play? Play makes us human. Even unstructured play develop autonomous thinking and action among children because they naturally interact and communicate with other children and adults, which fosters creativity and cooperation. It also gives them the chance to be able to think and act and make their own choice about their own play preference. Using play-based approaches, teachers can support children's holistic development, including cognitive, social-emotional, and physical domains. It provides opportunities for children to experiment with different skills and strengths in a diverse, supportive environment. Another approach is the integration of information and communication technology tools. We have different technology tools that will enable our students to collaborate with each other, but also look into how we can integrate the practices of social and ethical responsibilities in terms of online safety, security, online security such as preventing identity theft, scams, hacking, and cyberbullying, or the misuse of information such as plagiarism or accessing inappropriate contents. So in this, we develop among our learners to become digital citizens and provide them the opportunities to be of resilient to the risks posed by ICT. As a 21st century skills, these skills are important for our students to be able to manage their own digital footprint in this generation. The values-based approach promotes universally shared values such as charity, non-discrimination, equality, respect, dialogue, and peace-building approaches. We can use role plays, we can use the conflict-free analysis, we can use values focus. We can also discuss about character sketch or biography. We can write letters. We can also do community-based projects to engage our students based on a specific value. Let me share with you about storytelling. Stories provide a way to create a structure that learners can revisit their understanding of their own experiences. Narratives encourage linking memories of events that adds coherence to the different experiences. Stories can provide emotional engagement, and it's relevant to the learners. Everybody loves a good story, right? Thank you very much for learning with me about the different pedagogies and tools in teaching global citizenship education. It is my hope that you may contextualize these strategies in your own subject area and in your own practice. Have a great day.